I really felt that even though we'd been admitted to the school, we'd been admitted to the campus, we had not been admitted to the soul of Princeton at all.
It was a male school that accepted a handful of female students. So the whole culture had to change, and we were, I think, in it while that change began.
You know, the immediate impetus was the fact that Yale decided to go co-educational. And I think that there's any doubt that that was the spark that led President Goheen to actually mobilize and to do this.
When the acceptance letters came to my house, and one of them was admission to Princeton, it seemed to me that it would be a very interesting and historic opportunity to be part of a class that would bring coeducation to the university.
You've got to think back to 1969. This was during the Vietnam War. There was a tremendous amount of concern about the conditions of democracy in higher education. There were student protests all over. There were even protests here at Princeton. And one of the issues for students was the lack of participatory democracy in higher education.
Everything we did was a first for women students. You know, we were being watched and assessed, and people wondered if we would succeed, and we did. We succeeded quite well. But it was like being on a public stage for much of the time we were there.
You were almost always alone in precepts as a girl. And I think for most of us, there was at least one class or more in which even the professor would say things like, you know, well, what's the female point of view on this subject?
I have this recollection of going to eat breakfast on April 1st and opening up the Prince, and it said, coeducation experiment to end. You know, women will be assisted in their transfer applications. And for about the first 5 seconds, I thought it was true. And we really felt like outsiders. Our freshman year, the girls didn't have a lot of dates from the boys at Princeton. The boys were still looking toward the usual sister schools to find their dates. But there was this feeling, sort of, you know, well, we're here all week. What's going on? They said, you know, why are you here? And I said, I want to audition for the Footnotes. And they said, well, you know, we don't take girls. And I said, well, I'd like to audition anyway. So they had me audition. And after I finished auditioning, I was making a point, you know. They said, well, we don't take girls into the group, but if we did, we would take you.
To me, you know, the Princeton that I walked into, which was very much a male school, a white, primarily white, wealthy male school, I think, is completely transformed to be a much more, as I said, it feels like a natural and heterogeneous place. I still am in shock when I go to campus and see all these women around. I almost want to say, what are they all doing here? How'd they get so many?